Hey guys, I don't quite understand why my Little House on the Prairie thing is so lit up so well over there. But it is. Um, Here we are. James Bond 007 is delayed. Now, what does this mean? It means that this coronavirus is going to be a while. As I've been saying, okay, first of all, the global theatrical market for movies has been dropping. Global. Last year, dollar for dollar, when you not forget about ticket sales, we're talking about money, money, money. Last year, in 2018, sorry, the year before, in 2018, um, the international market shrank. The international market went down. So it's kind of leveling off. The only way to make things go up is to bring people out of poverty. And let's just say the number one person doing that was China, and they've stopped doing that. And actually, forgetting about the coronavirus, right? It's sort of they were kind of working. Kind of going backwards a little bit. Now, um, so the international market in 2018 shrank. Not a lot, like just a very small amount. But I mean, that's dollars because prices keep going up, right? Prices keep going up. However, um, the attendance keeps going down. But the price increases have sort of leveled it out some, but not last year, not international. And although it's a jaggedy uppity downity, up down up down up down, right? In America, generally the trend line is absolutely super 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 mega clear downward down down. The theatrical market. Okay? So you can take a look at, say, we'll do this. You'll see this is the number of tickets sold inside of uh, the United States and Canada. But we represent a very, like, we're probably like equivalent to the average state. Not a big state, not a small state, maybe the average one. We got, what, 40 million people up here? Something like that. A little less. So, 10% of this is, like, just say, like, maybe 5% of this or something like that is Canada. But anyway, it's mostly America. Um, so, you'll see the attendance going up, tickets sold going up, up, up. And 2002 was the top. But, so that's 1.576, right? 576. 524, down, 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 down. You know, it's a little bit up, but then down, up, down, up, down. But they hit, like they hit 1.2 in 2014, then it came back up again, but then it went back down, 1.3, 1.2, and so on. So it's been generally down. So last year, for example, was 1.2, say 1.245, down from a low of 576. That's only a 1 point as well. That's a significant drop. That is a big, significant drop. But you'll see the dollar amounts for each year has kind of, it's gone down a little bit. Well, no, sorry. Um, Here, this is the dollar amounts. It kind of goes up each time. But, last year, the dollar value, 2019, it went down. So even, like the price increases aren't helping. The price increases are not helping. It can't seem to get out of this, $11 billion, and it's topped out. And again, the attendance is dropping. The price increases. You see the price keep going up here. That has not leveled out. Now, or sorry, it hasn't. It's patching holes, but it's not really fixing the problem. There's nothing is turning this thing around. Now you could say, well, what about James Cameron? He is saved once every decade. James Cameron does the boomity boom 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 and saves the everything. Saves it. Saves everybody. Saves everybody's butthole. Everybody. James Cameron, the director of things like Titanic and Avatar, moves into the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba and saves the world. Saves the movie theater. Saves it all. Well, okay, in 1988, 99, yeah, okay, like this is still on its way up. Titanic was a goody good movie. Fantastic, good job. Super amazing. Great, goody good, right? Kind of like Jaws and Star Wars was before that. James Cameron is the current version of the the MCU is kind of doing well too, but the problem with the MCU is that that's all there is. It's like people are going out to see fucking comic book movies and kids movies, and that's it. A little bit of The Rock. Yes, The Rock is so significant in Hollywood that, in my opinion, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, is his own um, uh, genre, almost, type of movie. And I'm not joking. He's a powerhouse. But attendance has been going down, 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 down. Now, this weekend coming up, this weekend coming up, which is going to be, Friday, March the 6th. Friday, March 6th, 2020. You're going to start to see a pull away. You're going to start to see a pull away. What do I mean by a pull away? This same frame, this is what they call it, same weekend, last year, even though last year was a downy down year, down, D-O-W-N, it was like people either went to go see a Disney movie or stayed home. A Disney comic book movie or kids movie, or they stayed home. That's pretty much what happened last year. Disney or nothing. You could boil down 2019, the theatrical experience, as Disney or there's an exaggeration there, but not much. Now, this weekend, in 2 days from now, Captain Marvel is going to hit the theaters last year. This year it's Onward, and it's going to flop. Onward is being boycotted by all sides. The Christians don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think that you should be doing the gay thing with the children. But there's also an element of just overall bad, B-A-D. Bad. Just generally, forget about politics. There's a bad concept idea. And that is, they brought back their father, these two kitty, Alfie blue things in this Pixar movie. Bring back their father. They get some magic, but they do it wrong, so they only bring back half of the father, and it's the bottom half. So the entire movie, you're every time Dad is on screen, you're like literally staring at his crotch. So it's a Disney Pixar movie with a very lesbian woman, cop, and Can't you just be a lesbian? No, I gotta tell the whole world that I'm a lesbian. Hi, I'm a police officer and I'm a lesbian. You know, whatever. Don't you know when you walk into the, to the restaurant to order food, your waitress comes up and says, "Hi, I'm your waitress and I'm a lesbian. Can I take your order?" So, the lesbian bit, the open, not no longer background character. These gay things in these kids movies is sneaking up closer and closer and closer. And by the way, if you think I got a problem with being gay or gay, well, I am gay. And I do have a problem with the current modern day leftists and the way that they're using my sexuality to push it on everyone, really. It's like everybody in Hollywood is gay, so why shouldn't the whole world be gay? And the reason why you guys are gay over there in Hollywood is because you kind of have to be. Those casting couches are kind of gay makers. And, gay people are allergic to actual hard work and kind of are vain and want to be famous and all the rest of it, right? It leads, and want to be a superstar because they don't have kids and they don't have a wife. Of course, is going to move to Hollywood, do the Hollywood thing. But anyway, they need to realize that their Hollywood bubbly, homo orgy, everything goes shit, doesn't fly everywhere, and it shouldn't. So don't use my anyway. Whether or not you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, Disney movies are certainly getting a hell of a lot more woke. They're getting more gay, they're getting more feminist, they're getting more everything. And by the way, I have a problem with it all. I think that who is conservative? It used to be Disney, now it's nobody. Disney used to be kind of conservative and, kept a lid on it, but not anymore. Now they're the same. Bob Iger has transformed Disney into just another movie corporation. There's nothing special about it. You can't just plunk your kid down in front of Disney and let Disney babysit your kids and teach them the difference between good and bad. No, it's going to be like Commyville, like all the rest of Hollywood. So, now, okay, so there's a general trend downward, right? But, what you were going to see in March, okay? So Onward, this is the Disney Pixar movie that I was telling you about. Kind of a little drama movie and a little drama comedy movie. A comic book movie next the week after with Bloodshot. The movie that was banned, but it was pulled and now it's coming back because of the divisive politics inside the Hunt. I still believe now. Like I said, I'm happy to let. I have a feeling, by the way, the Hunt probably got edited. It probably went back to the drawing board after it got pulled. They probably went back to the drawing board and changed some shit up because Jason Blum from Blumhouse is really riding a tight rope. But if this is full out, just liberals hunting conservatives, and if it's straight up just, left wing politics, like to the extreme, and like this is kind of like Death Wish type stuff. Like, don't you just wish you could round up all the Republicans and hunt them down? That's what this movie is, or it was. Now, I don't know how much he put a lid on that after it got pulled out of theaters and now it's being put back in. Maybe during that time, the movie was edited, changed up. I don't know. What I will say is, um, I think if Jason Blum is going to just full out commie this one up, if he's gonna I think he's done. Honestly, if there's no moderating anything here, he's done. I don't see how far he can push horror fans, and they will take it. Maybe like I get it. Most of the I I don't know. He's already boycotted from me. I don't want to have nothing to do with him. Halloween is kind of an exception, but yeah, he's done for me. But so there's what I'm saying is that Bloodshot isn't even expected to do that well. Quiet Place 2 is expected to do well, but is it going to? Um, and then Mulan. Mulan is already the whiff of failure is in the air. And then in this month, April of 2020, James Bond was to come out. Okay? James Bond movie, No Time to Die, postponed 7 months as coronavirus death toll mounts. Now, No Time to Die, the latest James Bond movie, has been postponed by 7 months as fear over the coronavirus persists, making it the first major Hollywood movie to change its release date since the illness broke out in China and spread around the world. Now, I don't think we need the details. What I would like to show you, anyway, what I'm saying is this was going to be a shitty year for Hollywood. But now are they just going to blame China and the coronavirus? Do they have an out? Oh, it's not that we've been shitting on fans and we go commie all over the place and we shit on people and we shit on people and we're incompetent and we'd rather do politics rather than make good movies and all of all of this Me Too's and casting couches and pedo parties and Epstein Islands and all the rest. No, it's not that we're bad. It's not that we're doing our a baddie bad job. It's that silly coronavirus over there. That's why Hollywood failed last year. And then are they gonna, like I said, are they gonna, Avatar 2 is 2021. Are all of these movie theaters going to be ready to collapse? And then James Cameron comes out with Avatar 2 and it breaks everybody's brain. And they go see it 1,000,000,000 times each. You know what I mean? I'm obviously exaggerating. Is James Cameron, Avatar 2, going to swoop back in and save the movie, the theatrical industry? I don't know. I will say, between Avatar and Avatar 2, everything that he has touched has been shit. I'm going to say that again. Alita was shit. And the Terminators were shit. Every time he pokes his fucking nose out of that fucking Avatar 2, closet, he's done. Like he's and when you add the stupid politics and all the rest of it, is he going to be able to do it, or is this just going to be another CGI fest? I don't know. I really don't know. I see the problem with James Cameron is he's done it before. His resume is like no other. He's bigger than Steven Spielberg when he is 100% behind a thing. Like I said, between Avatar and Avatar 2, he's poked his nose out and everything has been garbage. But like he just wrote Alita, he didn't direct it, and so on and so on. He just was a producer on Terminator Dark Fate, and he had some input, but he didn't. It wasn't 100% him, and so on, right? All of this, he keeps poking his nose out of his you know, Avatar 2 closet, and it's crap. And that's scary. And is he enough to put this thing back on track? The answer is no. It's just like Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame didn't even put 2019 back on track. You know, sure, Disney and Marvel had great years, but, you know, like what? It still was a down year. So I don't have faith in, well, there's too much working against it. I'm not going to say movies are going to disappear. They're just going to be no more movie theaters. The movie theaters are going to start to close. Just like the video rental stores. Just like the blacksmiths. Sometimes the world moves on. Movies will still be made. There'll be less of them. And they won't there won't be any theater. Like a theater's going to stick around. There'll still be theaters, but they won't be places to make money. Like a little bit, but you won't hundreds of millions of dollars. No, that's not going to go. That's not going to continue. I don't even understand how Netflix does it. And the answer is they don't. They're like Twitter. They just keep losing and losing and losing and losing, going deeper and deeper and deeper into debt. Disney just bought Fox for $70 billion. That was a ripoff. My God, I can't believe they paid so much for that thing. It was so dumb. I mean, if you thought Disney buying Fox was a good idea, you're dumb. I think that's why he got fired. I think the board of directors finally realized, maybe they even got wind that he got some kickbacks or something, or they just realized that it was a really bad purchase, and they're like, we've been doing nothing but losing money out of 20th Century Fox, and we just got finished spending $70 billion on it. $70 billion. We're never going to be able to pay back this investment. This investment is never going to become profitable. And I think the reality of it finally set in, and they kicked him to the curb. But he probably don't care. I'm sure that I don't know how everybody got involved in buying that for $70 billion. It's crazy to me. Now, either it was the biggest mistake ever, or it was the sneakiest, kickback, scummy deal ever. And by the way, when you do that with stockholders' money, you should be in prison. But I think Disney executive would they realize that putting him in prison could tank the entire company, could destroy Disney completely. But they still spent $70 billion on something that they have no hope in hell of turning a profit. So, you got James Bond, right? Now, this Skyfall movie did very well. Like, you see the earliest ones, single-digit million-dollar budgets. They decide to, pump it up with Casino Royale, but that ended up being a turd. That kind of backfired. They spent a bunch more money, so they came back to Earth with their budgets, but then money started to rake in pretty good. So the budgets just keep going up, and then but you know, but finally, one of the movies really hit, and the next one hit kind of okay. It's a hit for sure. Well, actually, technically, no, because they're spending so much. Is this guy? What's his name? Anyway, I don't care. The guy playing James Bond right now, is he like so fucking expensive it would make your mind melt? See, that's part of a problem too, right? There's many problems that Hollywood has, and one of the biggity big problems is once a movie is successful, people want to see that particular actor do that particular role over and over and over again. And then the rules of supply and demand. I'm the only one with this face, so, and if you want it, then you're gonna have to pay. So then the budgets fucking explode. They're doing the same amount of work, but because they were in a successful James Bond movie, a really successful James Bond movie. See, look it went from 102, right, to 230. The fuck, and it still didn't even make any. It made less money. Came back down a little bit. 200. Now that one worked. That one kind of blew up. Skyfall. Adele was singing that song. Spectre came back down, but still the second best of the franchise. I don't know about inflation. Thunderball will think. Skyfall. But that's just so James Bond is has done well. The last two movies have done quite well, very well, maybe. The budgets have exploded out of control. But next month, and the international box office is a big part of these movies. A really big part of these movies is foreign cashola. Now, I think these are British productions. Are these British movies made by British people? I think so. Um, One of the few, like that and Doctor Who, I guess. Although they killed Doctor Who, and by the looks of it, by the looks of the politics and the run up to this movie, looks like they're planning on killing No Time to Die too. They're planning on killing this franchise as well, is what I'm saying. This franchise will be dead soon. Now it'll be a woke black woman. All of the fantasy and all of the amazingness that James Bond gave us over the years, it will be gone. He will be emasculated, put in his place, and he will be under the thumb of women. More so than just this Judi Dench. I forget what that thing is. M? But Yeah, they'll Doctor Who this as well. They totally screwed up Doctor Who. To my understanding, that's what everybody's saying anyway. The people I trust. I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't care. They screwed up Star Wars. They're screwing everything up. And sometimes I wonder if they're not doing it on purpose. And the reason is because fewer and fewer people are coming out. They're getting mad and angry that we're not just unloading our wallets into their pocket. We're talking back to them. See, in the beginning, in the beginning, we would have a bushel of tomatoes underneath our chair of rotten tomatoes, and it was people doing a play. There was no movie. There was people acting, singing, dancing, acting, singing, dancing on the stage. And if we didn't like what they did, we would reach underneath our chair and throw rotten tomatoes at them. And we would scream and yell and tell them to fuck off and go get a job and they suck and the whole everything. Just like you would see at a sporting event. The crowd goes, "You fucking loser, you can't fucking hit the broadside of the barn." And, even though the great big fat guy and he's not very mobile, sucks as all can suck at the sport itself. But it's just part of it, right? He's getting involved and he's, throwing in his two, and then you get emotional, and that's just, it's part of the whole thing. And in the beginning of Hollywood, it used to be like that. These people on stage literally got direct feedback. Direct. It's like a stand-up comedian versus doing a comedy movie. Right? And so Hollywood went behind the camera, disappeared behind the camera. Once in a while, like you see in very super mega controlled environments, they come out to see, ordinary people, but almost never. 0 times, really. You'll see a rope between them and, like their fans or something. You'll see them in a studio audience while they're doing an interview, or that's the closest you really get. But then Twitter and the internet came along. Right? The internet, computers, Twitter. And there was, again, a direct line between celebrity, Hollywood, and the fan. And I don't think they liked what they heard or saw. Now, don't get me wrong. Their circle, their bubble, and the Twitter and the social media and all the rest of them were on Hollywood's side, trying to protect them, trying to keep their bubble a bubble. But it would keep sneaking through. Like, Cher actually... I told Cher to stop talking for gay people because I don't care what she has to say. Stop talking for me. Everything that comes out of your mouth I disagree with. Stop talking for me. I don't want you to talk for me. Don't speak for gay people. You don't represent me. I didn't vote for you to represent me and talk for the gay community. And I think she blocked me or banned me for that. Or I got put on some block list. A person on Twitter with the wrong opinions. Rio. Block, 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 block. Shadow ban. Kick. Suspend. So, I think part of, I don't understand why every single thing is failing. Other than, it's either intentional or they're literally incapable of making good movies that people want to go see. They're incapable of understanding the world of people at the moment. They've been so far removed from humanity. And trust me, yes, when you live in a big Hollywood bubble, it's just there's no people in it. There's humanoids, but after you remove yourself, it's like Tarzan, right? Remember that movie? If a person removes themselves from humanity for a long enough period of time, are you still a human? You're humanoid. But could you imagine? Like, it's not like there's a lot going on here. Okay, there's many things. But could you imagine being like a Steven Spielberg or George? I hear George Lucas is like this. Could you imagine being George Lucas and you sitting in a room talking to a bunch of people about the next thing to do, and every single person always says, always, oh, that's the most perfect idea ever, just because they don't want to piss them off and get fired. Like, I don't know if it was real or fake or what, but I was watching it was being filmed, like one of those things I just said, people around a table, and somebody said something, and George Lucas grabbed him and threw him out of the room. Who the hell was that guy? And I don't know if that person said something good or bad or just disagreed. I don't know what was said, and I don't know if it was true or fake. That was a permanent kick out, a temporary kick out. I have no idea. But when I see actors in the Hollywood types just blowing smoke up each other's asses all day, every day, and it's even the little ones, right? I see the YouTubers that are just trying to be so super stunning and brave, and the Hollywood just keep blowing smoke up each other's asses. And even when they got criticism, they flood their criticism with a bunch of compliments. I hated the movie. It was a garbage trash movie, but it's not the actor's fault. Like they always have to. There's always a but. Then they always have to. That person was terrible, but I'm sure that it was. They just weren't directed properly or something. But it's not the director's problem. It's like they just can't blame anybody because they're so flaky. And it's not always their fault, right? Sometimes you do this because you're always looking for another job, and you can get blacklisted just like that. There's no job security. It's always contract job after contract job after contract job after contract job. And when your contract is up, you're unemployed again, and you got to be looking for work. And so that's where all the brown nosing comes in, blowing smoke up of everybody's ass, because you're always looking for the next. You're always like, it's not just them, it's not just actors, right? It's us. Every time you go to a job interview, you put on your best suit and your best tie, and you cut your hair perfect. It's like, oh yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be the best job ever. I just can't wait to come and work for you. Yeah, and just tell them all the lies and the right answers, right? Well, actors are always on a job interview. So the way you act when you're doing your job interview, they're doing it all the time. Because again, what's that? And even if you got TV, right? They could still write you out. You still got to negotiate your contract at the end of the contract. Right? So, it's not necessarily their fault, but they're getting direct feedback. And people don't like that, right? And then you live in that bubble for so long, right? The Hollywood bubble, that you start to feel guilty about all your money and all your power, and the fact that everybody just adores you so much. You get an inflated ego and you think you have to make the world a better place, but you don't know how to do it because you're actually just kind of a greedy little bastard, which is fine, by the way. But then everybody around you is fake, and they're just, like they're really fake. And then you feel like you have to save the world. So you just kind of watch CNN and go, okay, I'll pick that cause. And everybody else is a lefty because, you have to, even if you don't really love everybody, you have to pretend that you love everybody. Because again, it's all just fake. And then just this world of fakery, fake, 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 just becomes life. And then it's just becomes the Hollywood filth that is fucking commiewood. And it's not just the politics, it's everything. It's just the fakeness and the back the vanity, the just garbage. So it's a really sick industry. And when you take that and you run it up against video games, right? Video games, all the kids are doing video games. They don't care about you know, movies and TV were big, but just the sheer amount of them, the sheer number of them. I mean, if you didn't make another movie ever, if you made 0 movies from here until the end of time, a brand new person a brand new human being, you could show them a new movie every day for their entire life. All 100 years of their life, a new movie every single day. Just because there are so many already out there. And that we're not even touching the TV. But guess what? There's another game in town called online videos. YouTube. You're watching it right now. You're watching me talk. That's crazy. They have huge competition. But instead of dealing with the huge competition and making sure that their work was perfect, we get like shitty Terminator sequels. And Ridley Scott comes back to ruin Alien. And, we get another mediocre comic book movie. Still makes a lot of money, but it's kind of crap. A bunch of remakes of kids' movies. And then you add in some identity politics and friggin' commie Hollywood filth. Virtue signaling. And then award show where they're literally telling half of the country to fuck off. Just think of all of the, Joaquin Phoenix. Think of all the people he offended by calling people, I don't know, we're separating child cows from their moms and stealing their milk that was meant for their baby. And then you learn, oh well, Joaquin Phoenix is a vegan, and he was raised in a cult, and I'm not joking. He was raised in a cult. His brother died of a drug overdose at Johnny Depp's nightclub at the age of 20 or 21, something like that. I think he might have been underage. The brother was the famous one, so I mean, I don't even know if he knows who his dad is, and he's got a cleft lip. So he's had a hell of a life. And I don't know. And so you go, well, he's just a really super mega fucked up individual. And he's decided to be nice to the animals in his way. But I mean, if you didn't really know the whole story of Joaquin Phoenix, You would go, like he's just insulting meat eaters. He's insulting, farmers. You just need to make movies and shut the fuck up and fuck off. If you want to save the world, just do it. Do it without the cameras. But then a week after his, don't drink milk speech, he takes a private jet to a speech, a Jane Fonda, save the tree hugging speech, a private jet to go see Jane Fonda because his voice is just so important. So he's going to pollute the environment to tell you to not pollute the environment. And he justifies that in his head somehow. It's like, don't get me wrong, we're all messed up in some ways, right? We all are. You could probably, say that I'm messed up. We all are messed up. Steven Spielberg's daughter is fucking dating a 47, his 23-year-old adopted black daughter, of course, gotta get woke, is dating a 47-year-old professional dart player, and she's getting into porn. I don't know what to say about that. But I have heard comedians say, your job as a father is to keep her off the pole. And by pole, I mean stripper pole. You failed as a father if your daughter is a stripper. And you know something? I agree. So Steven Spielberg, the biggest thing to cinema, well, in the early days anyway, in the 70s and 80s, and some in the 90s, since 2000, just like the rest of Hollywood, it's been nothing but downhill. The only, and what are the reasons for it? I don't know. There's lots. There's many. There's so many pieces to this puzzle. But, guess what? It looks like they might have an excuse. As this year fails, like I said, this James Bond movie, it switched to November. From April to November. Because they need that China money. But I mean, how many other people are just going to keep postpone? And is that going to be enough time? Because like I said, if the Chinese, even if it's pretend, I just snap my fingers, make the virus go away, and China comes out and says, it's okay, go back to work. How many people are not going to believe that and be too poor because they haven't been earning money for months? You want to see how bad China's been doing? Today would be nice. Yeah, go nice and slow. Website. There's China. Made $0 last weekend. $0 previous weekend. But $10,000 in all of China previous weekend. Oh, I don't know. 60, 70,000 previous weekend. Like, this is zero. This equals zero. These numbers are so small, it equals zero. 100,000. Okay. Okay, finally we got one that hit 1 million. Not good enough. No. Everything. Okay, so now we're into the millions. This is the way a weekend should be in China. There's a 9 million, 8 million for a weekend, remember. We're looking at weekends at 17 and 10, right? But did you see those early ones? 0, 0, 0, close to 0, close to 0, close to 0. 24 million. This is for an entire weekend for the world's most populous country. See? Not 47. This is what it's supposed to look like. Right? 30, 40, 50 million dollars. Not 0. 10,000, which is 0. 0. 0. You can only do that for so long without, and when the budget for your American-made movie is so, how should I say it, is so dependent on foreign money. And by the way, if you did make it here, right, or you did release it here, and it wasn't going to be released for 7 months or a year or something like that later in China, the people in China, if they really wanted to see it, they're just going to download it. And by the way, 6 or 7 months, that's usually when things are out on disc. And this is important. The theatrical market is super mega massive important. Incredibly important to the money-making Hollywood machine. The theatrical market. You know what I would do if I was at the tippity top or a tippity top in Hollywood? I would call up a meeting with every single executive. And we would all go to a private island somewhere and have a chitty chat. Or a super mega dinner where we rent out the entire restaurant so it's all private. And it would be, we got to get actors to stop talking. So cancel the award shows, or the awards go onto a website. And we all agree to blacklist anyone who has a Twitter account that says anything political or divisive in any way, shape, or form. In any way. I know this sounds crazy, but if you come and make a movie for me, right? You come and make a movie for me. By the way, Jim Carrey. How many people boycotted his movie because of his Twitter account? How many people chose to not go see Jim Carrey's movie because of his insane Trump derangement syndrome? My guess is probably quite a few. Because you've seen on Twitter day in and day out his Trump derangement syndrome. So what happens? Like, these people are ruining their own industry. I don't know how else to put it. I don't think there's any other way to put it. They don't care. Now, it's interesting, Jim Carrey put his Twitter art down. I don't know, maybe he's still actually making the art. But maybe this is a wake-up call? He put his, at least posting them. Maybe he stopped making it, but I don't know. He stopped posting his Trump derangement syndrome to Twitter to sell the movie. And that should tell you everything. This is not, and yes, I hate to break it to you, celebrities, but don't you want people to like you? Like, I mean, it's so crazy that they can't connect these dots. It's a business. You're supposed to be nice to the customer. And yes, celebrities are supposed to want us to like them. Them as a person. Them. It's not just the character. It's not supposed to be. But the celebrities have made it clear to us that it is the character. It's not them. Because if they really wanted us to like... See, they used to be nice and fake. They used to come out, you know, at the award shows and do a couple of interviews now and again, and then go away. But not anymore. Now they're fucking on social media all day, you know, picking political sides and basically telling half of the country that they're fucking Nazis. So, is this coronavirus going to be used as an excuse? Is it a biggity big real thing? And yes, it's already affecting a lot of things, many things. But um, is this thing going to be used as an excuse for James Bond, the third highest grossing cinematic franchise in movie history? Adjusted for inflation, it's made almost $6 billion. Adjusted for inflation. Marvel has made 9. Star Wars has made 8. And James Bond has made 6. Batman has made 4, and Harry Potter has made 4. $1 billion. And I'm sure that's just domestic. Worldwide, oh my goodness, these numbers are huge. And still, the movie, you know, like they just, you know, part of it is that maybe there's just too much money. Because yes, if you are incompetent and have a lot of money, you can just throw all the money at the problems. It is a thing. If you have it like bottomless pockets, yes, you can probably just keep throwing money at problems. But I mean, usually, for most people, the money runs out. And it is an industry. And as much as Star Wars, the first Star Wars, okay, let's just take a look. The first Star Wars, A New Hope, okay? It cost $11 million, and it brought in 775. 460 domestic. So that's a worldwide 70 times its production budget. 70 times. Okay? And if we look at the most recent biggity big movie, which is Avengers Endgame, remember, 70 times. 70. 70, and this is only 7. Right? 7 times. Imagine taking $1 million and multiplying it by 7. or multiplying it by 70. So they're hurting, and they have to be magical. They have to be perfect to compete, and they're not. Not by a long shot. They have to be magical, and they have to be perfect. They have to be amazing. But instead, they're chock full of politics and identity politics and stories that don't make sense. And it's just like they've gotten lazy. They don't care. Now, I don't know. But when I look at these movies, they're crap. Avengers Endgame, worse than what came before it. Lion King, worse than what came before it. Worse than the original. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. The whole Disney, literally it's all in the toilet. Disney didn't know how to do Star Wars. But, you know something? I get really tired of people blowing smoke up of George Lucas's ass. George Lucas is a dumb dodo brain. He did a good job with American Graffiti, a very good job. And there was an idea, a concept, a thing that somehow he was able to pull out of his butt called Star Wars. And then somebody else kind of, and then he had all the money to buy all the help he needed to do it again. And then the third one was, yes, it was a little step down. It was a step down, but not a big one. Not a big one. It's a very little step down, the third one. But then that was it. Then what we get is some pretty shitty prequels, and just a bunch of crap. He kept fucking with the originals, making them worse, with all his special edition, special features and shit. But he was a good businessman. Or it's either that or he just got lucky. And he just sat on Star Wars. No, hey, that's a good life. But I mean, he's not good. I mean, okay, American Graffiti was good. Star Wars was fantastic. And Empire Strikes Back was fantastic. But how much of that was him? Or was it someone else? He's too busy sitting back counting the money. But after that, I'm sorry, but it's just been a shit show. And guess what? Disney didn't do any better. Actually, they did worse. I think we would have been better off with the George Lucas Star Wars trilogy. But this postponement from April, right? From April. Yeah, April. It's original April rollout. Okay? So what do we got left in April? So, okay, let's just take a look at... Oh, well, I guess we can take a look over here. No Time to Die. Has this one been updated yet? Nope, that hasn't been updated. See, it's only 88 million. They're predicting and this is domestic only. And 88 and what was it? 88 and 270. 88 and 270. How does that compare? 88 and 270. They expected the Skyfall. They're predicting Skyfall over again. I don't know what makes them think that they're going to get the tippity top again. I think that was a bad idea to predict that high. But let's just take a look. Onward, $55 million opening. That's not even Bad Boys for Life or Bad Boys 3. A Disney Pixar movie is going to be a turd. Again, I told you, this is going to be a nothing burger and another Bloodshot, a Vin Diesel comic book movie the weekend after. Nothing. The Hunt is going down in predictions. I don't know if it's going down because people are just like, they finally are connecting Jason Blum with fucking radical leftist commie politics or what? Another nothing burger, nothing. Okay, finally, A Quiet Place too. So, the end of March, finally. But you got to remember, March last year started out, the very first weekend of March was Captain Marvel. Boom. $150 million opening weekend. $150 million. I don't even think this entire month adds up to $150 million. Yeah, it does. Say 50, 55, 63, 74, 84, 97, 101, 173, 173, 173, 180. So, like, let's just say 200 million. $200 million for opening weekends. Whereas last year, I don't know if that's opening. I think that's total. And I did opening weekends. But anyway, what I'm saying is that there's a huge divide. This is planning on opening at 55 million. My goodness, is that ever low? And then next month, one of the big movie, the biggest movie of the month has already been pushed back. So what's the biggest movie of April? Okay, let's get into April. New Mutants, only 17 million. Really? 1880. Okay, so oh no, that's James Bond. Nope, nothing. Is there anything else at the end of April? Nope. So, March is going to fail. Like, I mean, Mulan, A Quiet Place. It's possible that A Quiet Place Part 2 is going to be the big winner of the month. Wow, that's crazy. A horror movie is going to be one horror movie. And by the way, last year, there was, let's just take a look again. Um, so January, February of last year was bad, just like it is this year. So March, a Medea movie, those kind of do mediocre, kind of low budget, and they bring in a certain amount. Captain Marvel. There it is. The big movie, and then nothing, and then Us. A big hit, a big horror hit. Captain Marvel and Us. And then they tried again with Dumbo, but it didn't work. So Captain Marvel and Us. And this year, it has, for March, I don't know, is anything even going to reach Us? Okay, Onward is going to reach Us levels. 175, yeah. So Onward will take the place of Us, and Captain Marvel, everything else is going to take the place of... Oh, there's just... It's all going to go away soon. No more movie theaters. No more movie theaters. By the way, that's my little, my cat cam, and you're taking a look at The Little House on the Prairie Season 1. Best TV show ever made by, well, I don't know. There's Firefly. I love that. Oh my God, do I love it. But I don't know. I think Little House on the Prairie is the best thing ever. Yeah, and then a Dumbo failure. Whereas Mulan, I guess Mulan is expected at 48, and Dumbo, how much did it open with? 45, yeah, 46, same amount, right? But here's the thing, in April, well, they had Shazam. And what do we have for this year? The New Mutants. A $17 million opening. Well, 140 total. Oof. That's not going to do it. Maybe you combine these two. If Peter Rabbit 2 does alright, but now the No Time to Die has disappeared. There's just nothing here, folks. No Time to Die was April. That destroys April. So, unless people are just going to go out and see other movies instead, I don't see it. So March is a dud and April is a dud. March is a dud and April is a dud. So that takes you to the end of, here's one for last year, right? At the end of April, Avengers Endgame began. And that was a $350 million opening. Now, granted, their opening weekend started on Tuesday. Literally, I'm not joking. There was people that were seeing it on Tuesday. Because it would sell out, right? The previews sold out on Thursday, so they pushed it to Wednesday, and then it sold out, so they pushed it to Tuesday. I was like crazy. And then so they add up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all into one weekend. But it's still, however you cut it, still made bank. But I mean, I don't think they should do that. I think just open it on Friday and then sell out. You can have it at 12:01 if you really want to. You got a big movie, you can run all night, right? 12:01 in the morning, a.m. on Friday, then you start to show the movie, and then at 3 in the morning and 6 and 9 and noon. Do that for your big movies. If they sell out, then go earlier, and then go earlier, and then go earlier, and you go all the way up to midnight. Drives me crazy, though. And then they call a weekend 3 days. It's always a 3-day weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's too bad you don't get 3-day weekends off from work. But yeah, so by the end of April, right, you're going to be skipping, there's going to be nothing by the end of April. What is the big thing at the end of April that's supposed to take the place of nothing? Black Widow at the beginning of May. And we haven't gotten a number for that. They don't go that far ahead. But I have a feeling, it might not do so good. And like I said, China really needs to fix this thing, because it's going to take a long time for people to A, get back to work, and B, want to come out to go do things, or C, can even afford to go out and do extra things. Right? Yeah. I don't think, and by the way, I think people, the fact that she died in Endgame, and then they bring it back, and I think the identity politics are going to be too much. It's going to be all girl power. It's just people are getting sick of this shit. Sick of the Hollywood politics, girl power shit. And then, of course, in the trailer, the brother came in, and of course, he's the big, fat, dumb guy. More like, feminism is really just about humiliating men, it seems. It's communism, right? They don't want to bring the downtrodden up. They want to bring the top down. That's how they're planning on doing the equality thing. Bernie Sanders talks a good game, but he certainly loves all the zeros in his bank account. Fucking fraud. Just fake. Do as I say, not as I do. Bullshit. He could give all the money away. Give thousands of young black, young people a free college education. He could do it, but he's not gonna. He could do it with his own money. See, that's the thing about socialism, right? Hey, Bernie. Hey, commie. We're not saying that you can't give all your money away. Go ahead. Give it all away. Put everybody through, pay a bunch of school debts. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. I'm not stopping you. Go ahead and pay it. Actually, here's my credit card. Pay this off too while you're at it. Nobody's stopping these commies and these socialists from paying everybody else's stuff and making it free for them. I'm using scare quotes. Bernie Sanders could very well make it, but he's going to run into all these excuses, right? Well, no, it's about, I'm just going to do it on, it's really just about forcing you to do what they want you to do. It boils down. That's what it's all about. So, basically, the only movie that was expecting to do really well in March and April, was, I can't believe the New Mutants is expected to do so little. Peter Rabbit is expecting to do more than the New Mutants. Is this because the shit show that was Dark Phoenix? I don't know. No Time to Die was the big movie. But I'm shocked that A Quiet Place is so high. I know it was a big movie, but I didn't think the sequel would, get that much. Maybe it won't. Anyway, like as it gets closer, everything is trending downward. So, as you can see here. And usually, I have to tell you, usually their numbers are high. And we're already just about as low as last year. But remember, next weekend, last year, so this upcoming weekend, the same weekend last year, had Captain Marvel. It was their first $1 billion hit. The first $1 billion movie began at the beginning of March. And we could do, so you do this and then come down to year to date. We're up pretty much at the same as last year, which by the way is down significantly from years previous. And by the way, so they're going to be moving they moved it, right? So let's get to October, November. So you got Venom 2, The Witches, I don't know what that is, Halloween Kills, Universal Comedy, The Eternals for November. I don't know. Godzilla, Stephen King something or other. Oh, Jesus. King Richard. That series is doing well, and I have no idea why. So King Richard is going to go up against 007. And a Disney movie of some sort. A Disney movie, 007, and King Richard are all going to come out on the same weekend. Oh. I thought King Richard was part of a franchise. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. And then, whatever that is. Then Dune. I guess this is supposed to be the big Christmas movie. Coming to America 2. Eddie Murphy is coming back. And that's supposed to take The Croods 2 and Tom and Jerry. And then a late horror movie for the new year. I don't know. Maybe these are just as during. I don't know what that means. I don't understand what that means. Does that just mean that they haven't got a secure date yet? You're still working on it? It's for sure going to be in 2020, but they don't know exactly when. I'm telling you, any movie that wants to needs to make a bunch of money in China is going to wait, right? They're not going to want to release right away. I don't see, and by the way, when you go through, there's so little this year. Like Onward, nobody knows what that is. Even the Eternals, nobody knows what that is. Black Widow, most normies don't know what that is. Oh, it was that girl from Avengers? Oh, okay. That's about it. That's as close as you're going to get there. And aren't people getting tired of it? Maybe all the comic people will come out. I don't know. But it's really iffy. And then you got Wonder Woman. You got Tenet. That needs to hit. That needs to be a home run. Like every single and Tenet. That what a stupid word. That's a terrible title. Um, Wonder Woman will probably hit, but I don't know. It's getting bad reviews. There's nothing happening. There's no Avengers or Star Wars or anything. Even your 007 is getting pushed away because it needs to make the China bucks. And no China, no movie. So this is the first big Hollywood change because of the coronavirus, outside of obviously not, pulling movies from China itself. But I mean, what I should say, this is the first Hollywood American, like, this is, well, it's affecting America now. The coronavirus has pushed. Now, what happens if you have to skip over the summer? Can you imagine? You're just going to refuse to put out your big, and they just did it. And this is maybe the first of many. They pull a movie from the theater. Now, let's be honest, they're always going to have movies to just throw in, but are people going to go see them? Like, you'll always have a set of movies to go see unless the virus comes here. Like, they'll always, but the big ones, maybe not, because they need the China money. So maybe the smaller movies will actually, just like little crappy films that have been waiting for a release, or that were going to go straight to video, or that they had in the archive that's already in the can that they didn't care about. They probably have a bunch of those. There's always movies being made. They have their selection. So that maybe this is just going to be super low budget year, low budget summer. Because you can't risk putting the biggity big movies out in the theaters. And yeah, that's really interesting, right? So the China coronavirus, COVID-19, has moved the big one film. See that? They're all small numbers, small. Oh, and then there's a big one. And that's the one that got moved. That's the one that got moved. 72 is alright, but... And Mulan, the week after, 48's alright. But I mean, are they going to move Mulan too? I think they might have to, right? Or maybe they're already stuck. Because you'd have a contract, right? Disney would have this is figured out months and months and months and months ago. And maybe this is one of the reasons why Bob Iger got kicked out. They're like, why haven't, he got a knock on the door or a phone call and said, so when have you moved Mulan to? And he goes, I haven't moved to Mulan. And they said, okay, we're going to need to see you in our office. And then he goes to their office and says, why haven't you moved Mulan? I don't know. It just slipped my mind. Well, you're fired. You're gonna have a Chinese movie uh, uh, open when China is closed. Well, it's too late now. I can't. Well, you should have thought of that on this millisecond that you heard about the coronavirus. Well, you should, yeah, because I'm sure that the penalties kind of, like pulling a movie, like you've already arranged everything, right? I don't know. I don't know how easy or how difficult it is to change your contract with movie theaters. But Um, maybe it was too late. Maybe it's too late. But April 10th wasn't too late. They were able to kick it out of April 10th and move it to, I don't know, whatever it was. November something. But that's a crowded week that they're moving it to. I think it's going to be a shit show. This year at the movie theaters, I think it's finally gonna come home to roost. And by the way, next year, like I said, Abbott, James Cameron's movie cannot save this. It didn't save it before. James Cameron cannot save this year from itself. And coronavirus is just adding insult to injury. Look at from 1.5, right? 576, 2002, and it's just down, 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 down ever since the number of tickets sold. Yes, it's a little uppity, but mostly downy. It goes up every once in a while, but then it goes down more. And it's really a good straight line downward. Look, there's the ticket sold, right? The blue line. Down, 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 down. Now, if this is actual real, the 2021, my goodness. That's a $2 billion loss. $2 billion loss in just the Americas. Now you can say that, well, they just have to start making they just have to start cutting the corners. Go ahead. Try to tell Robert Downey Jr. that he doesn't get $20 million to play Iron Man. And then get somebody else to play Iron Man and see how that goes. That's another problem too. I think Black Widow is going to be a good test for the MCU. Are people going to come out and see it? You killed the character off in the previous movie. Are they going to come out and see like a prequel? A girl power movie? And the big fat dumb brother with the big fat dumb brother? Like every sitcom ever? Shitting on men, emasculating men. The big dumb guy? Thank goodness he's got a super skinny, super beautiful wife to fix his life for him and show him all of the errors of his ways. Typical, sitcom television. And by the way, television is dying too. It's all dying. Broadcast television. It's going to be dead soon. So think about what is broadcast. Okay, so what is the movie theater? What is broadcast television? What is DVD and Blu-ray sales? And what's the difference between each and every piece of these puzzles? Right? I'm telling you, there's a huge difference. The amount of money that Hollywood is going to lose is going to be enormous. Enormous. Now, what's the difference between... Okay, let's just do the easiest one first. What's the difference between purchasing your movies digitally versus purchasing your movies the physical copy? Well, first of all, they can just decide that, oh, when we made that movie 20 years ago, it doesn't fit our modern day politics, so we have to go in and change it. And you won't even know. Right? Unless, I guess, when you somehow download it and make a copy of that digital version, or you screen capture the movie when you're watching it. Are you allowed to even do that? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are going to say about this. But your physical copy, when you went bankrupt, right? You had all these DVDs that you could sell or whatever. They were physical. They actually existed. But what happens to your if what happens when you die? What happens to your movie collection, your electronic movie collection? What happens if the electronic movie collection company goes bankrupt? Does that mean you lose all your movies? What, they give you a month to download all the movies, or maybe some other company, a bigger company, comes in and takes over, just because you can't have movie collection websites close. You can't do that because then people are going to be afraid to purchase movies, right? So what are they going to be? Just all streaming services? And okay, so when you have a physical movie collection, every time you pass by it, it enters your mind, right? You see even if it's just you're not looking at it, you see that DVD on the shelf. But in a virtual collection, it's like you have to go out of your way to go into the spot where all of your movies are stored and then start scrolling through them. Right? And are they going to, like I said, are they going to get changed? Are they going to have all of the, are they going to have all the extras, the interviews and the commentaries? Are they going to decide that, this depiction is racist and then go in and change the movie and cut it out or something without telling you? Is it going to be for all formats? What happens when we get, 10K televisions? Are you going to automatically get an upgrade, or are they even going to bother? Are you going to have to pay to upgrade it to a 10K? What happens if that company goes bankrupt? Are you going to lose all of your movies? And like I said, on a day-to-day basis, these movies are not going to be part of your everyday experience. If you've got a bookshelf in your living room and it's got a bunch of movies on it, every single time, even if you just see it out of the corner of your eye, right? Those movies are there. But now they aren't. They're no longer there. So they're no longer part of your consciousness. It's like the movies. What happens when the movie theaters disappear, go away? Well, the magic of the movie also goes away. The magic of the movie goes away. Because no matter how good, well, there isn't too many people with movie theater home experiences. Most people just have a regular TV and, some speakers or something. And it's good. It's as good as they can afford. Whereas the movie theaters have cream of the crop everything. Whereas you've got what you've got. And it is not as good of an experience. So that devalues the movie. Um, without, like, movie theaters will always exist, but they'll be relics. It's just like you can still find a video rental store. There'll probably be one, 100 years from now, because it'll be a museum of a gone time. Um, so yeah, they'll have the movie theaters. There'll be a couple in Hollywood and a couple in New York and stuff like that, right? They'll be scattered around, but they won't be for making money. It'll be strictly what? Going to the internet. And what does that mean? Well, what is it? A streaming service? Disney is going to have their own streaming service. Well, they do, right? But that's why Disney Plus is here, folks, because they all have to retreat. They all see this. It's all happening. They all know it. Every single one of them in this industry knows it. It's all backtracking to the internet. Now, is that going to be enough? The answer is no. And they're going to keep fighting each other and fighting and fighting and fighting for market dominance, or for your $10 a month or $20 a month or whatever it is. And are you going to pay for them all? I don't know. Maybe if you, but just think of $10 a month is a hell of a lot different than paying $10 every time you see a movie, which is the movie theater. It's just not. It's going away, folks. And as bad as this year was going to be, it looks like it just got a hell of a lot worse with the coronavirus. See, there's your 1.576 billion tickets sold. Tickets sold. But down here, you want me to show you the international market going down last year? That's 2018. $2019 should be coming up shortly, and I'll be going through that really closely with you. I care about theatrical global. Okay. So you see this from 2017 to 2018, 29.4 billion down to 29.2. That's the global box office. Okay. Now this is international. The green is international, and the blue is U.S. Canada. Now, even though from 2016 to 2017 it went down, from 2017 to 2018 it went up, but not much. So because this went up, the U.S. went up, and this only went down 0.2. Overall, it was up. Overall, it was up. But I mean, as you've seen, the trend, and this is dollars, by the way. This is dollars. So it should be going up, and it should be going up a lot. And the reason it should be going up a lot is because there's more people on the planet, right? And the prices increase. It should be, but it's not really going up. Got 11.1, 11.4, 11.1, 11.9. And that's billion US dollars. But again, it's just a stagger. And this is dollars, not ticket sales, right? Ticket sales are going down. The dollars are kind of steady, but that's because the ticket sales are going down, but each ticket costs more. They're increasing the prices to offset the declining attendance. But even, as the international market has done that, there's still a decline. And that was last year. I wonder what 2018 to 2019 is going to look like. It'll be around in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned to my channel, and I'll be going over all of these numbers. But I'm telling you, the current year, 2020, and by the way, I thought last year was going to be the year that it all went away, or that it started to go away. But I realized, honestly, Captain Marvel was a surprise hit to me, and Avengers Endgame fixed the year. But then everything kept failing and failing. But then Lion King came out and fixed it all, and then Toy Story. So like Disney kept coming in, swooping in with their triple A list titles and saving the day. Disney kept, it was like everything was fucking up in a big way. But then the big Disney film, the big Disney franchise would come in and save the day. Save the day. It's like every other month Disney came in and saved it. It was all going down. All of these movies were failing. Big franchises, Terminator, X-Men, and Men in Black, Godzilla. Everything was failing except Disney. Now, did Disney just take the money away from everyone else? No. The trend is obvious. The trend is there. We see it. It's been since 2002. Attendance has been going, ticket sales have been going down, down, down. The number of tickets sold, down, down, down. Now, again, this is the box office. So this is the dollars part. And that has been going up. But that's just, it's been going up in the face of attendance going down, which means they're charging more. But internationally, as I just showed you, internationally, the box office, so the dollars, went down. The box office dollars went down. So that means in spite of the ticket prices going up and population going up, attendance went down even more. So international markets have leveled off. 26, 27.3, 27.4, 29.4, 29.2. The only way to get more out of the international global box office is to bring people out of poverty. And by the way, I know how to do that. It's simple. You just delete government everywhere. Freedom. But I mean, the people like us, like us white people, Europeans or something like that, that could go in and kick the ass of, say, for example, African governments and tell them to fuck off. They need to give their people 100% freedom so that they can slowly bring themselves out of poverty. It's a slow process. It would work, and it will work. It'll happen. But our government isn't going to do that. Our government isn't willing to show the world what freedom can really do, because they want us enslaved too. They're not going to give up, and it's a weird thing. It's a tug of war. It's always been a tug of war. You either maintain control, but unfortunately that, and you get these people to play your games for you of power and control, like all these rich Hollywood types are all communists. But I mean, the communism is actually hurting their business, so it's going to start to hurt them directly. But again, they're all sitting on mountains of money, so a lot of them that have made it to the top aren't going to care. It's the people underneath them that they don't care about. They don't care about the next generation of people that want a good, nice, healthy industry of movie making and theater experiences, and families going to buy some popcorn and rub the top of the kid's head, while he looks at his dad and says, "Oh, that was amazing," because the kid on the movie screen did something cool. So, I don't know. It's a sad state, but it's always what, I don't know, it's just the way things are. They're going to screw up this beautiful industry that has been built up. Maybe it just got too big, this industry. It got too big. Too many people wanted a piece of it. They started the infighting. The copyright stuff. See, like, there's so many reasons why Hollywood is failing. Copyright. You know what the lawyers love? Is lots of laws. Lots of rules, lots of regulations, lots of laws. Because then they can just call up their buddy and say, hey, what, do you want to sue some people? Let's go sue some people. And it's just lawyer versus lawyer versus lawyer versus lawyer suing each other and extracting all of the money out of those industries. So then the industries actually turn into lawyers. The movie making industry has actually turned into the, sue each other industry. And I'm not kidding. The IP of this and the IP of that, and this one owns a quarter of this and 10% of that, and this and that, and you have the rights to do this and that, and so on. I mean, it's the fucking lawyers that win. All this copyright bullshit. The more copyright bullshit that you know, shit out, everybody loses except the lawyers. So there's another group of people that love big government. In case you were wondering, an extremely advanced libertarian topic is we don't believe in copyright. We don't believe in intellectual property. It's an extraordinarily... Most libertarians don't even understand this principle, this idea, and it's debated, but I am a libertarian that does not believe in intellectual property. Patents, copyrights, anything like that. I don't believe in those things. I know it sounds weird. You spend all that time writing a book, and for somebody to just steal the book and then print it out and then sell it themselves. But once you go down the road of everything, and you truly understand freedom, you will. It's just like anything else. It's just like YouTube. Look at, a successful YouTuber who gets all those super chats. Super chat after super chat after super chat after super chat. Right? One day, if you guys, get me up to 1,000, I'll sign up so that you can give me money that way too. But, there's lots of people that give lots of people money just because they kind of want to. They don't have to, like, copyright and protect and hire a team of lawyers. And it's always, it's the person with the most money that wins that game, right? The person with the biggest lawyer wins. And so that's why, like, again, all of these, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, there are just more lawyers and more rules and more regulations and more and more and more. So then these industries literally are just suing each other into oblivion. And guess what? Oblivion has found them. It's one of the reasons. Another one. So here's and by the way, I don't like the way that this report divides up planet Earth. I think they tried to divide the different market segments up in a way that, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't have problem just saying what is. So I'll explain to you how the global market works. First of all, you've got 11.9, right? This is last year. Divided by 41.1. $29. So the US, right? The US Canada is 30%. The simplest way of looking at all of this. You've got the entire world, right? Half of your global box office, half, 50% comes from the white countries. White. That is America, Europe, Australia, Canada, obviously, New Zealand, white countries. We forget about Russia. Just don't count that. Don't count it for nothing. Fucking commies. So it comes from white countries, basically. The simplest way. Half of all of your global box office cashola comes from white countries. America's not white, shut up. I don't got time for your bullshit. So half comes from white countries, and of that half, okay, so 30% of it is America. Canada is America. 30% of it is America, and the other 20% is all of the other white countries. So you got 30% is America, and the other 20% is the other white countries. Okay? 30% America, 20% the other white countries. All of Europe, the UK, well, that's Europe. Canada, Australia, and so on, right? So 30% America, 20% the other way. And then you have 40%. Okay, so then just mark off another 40%. So you got a 50% chunk for white countries. Half of the pie is white. 30% America, 20% the rest of the white countries. Now mark off a 40%. But also mark off 25, like a 25% chunk. A quarter of the pie is China, right? Okay, so I'm going to say this again. America is 30%. China is 25%. Okay? So you got half of the pie is all white countries. 30%, and then the other 20% equals the rest of the white countries. And then you have a 40% chunk, and we're going to call that 40% chunk yellow countries. I don't care what you have to say. You can call me racist if you want. Yellow. That's China, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, so on and so on, right? All of the yellow countries. And I am mixing in the Vietnams and Cambodias with the yellow, but there's nothing going on there anyway, so they're too poor still doing the communism thing. They haven't left it behind. Anyway, so you got half of the pie, right? Is 30% America, 20% the other white countries, and then you have a 40% of the pie. And that's all your yellow countries. But 25% is China, and the other 15% is the rest of the yellow countries. Okay? So half of your pie is white, the other half is yellow, 40% is yellow. And do you know what that 10% is? Everything else. And what do I mean by everything else? Well, hold your socks. It's everything south of the American border. So it's Mexico, Central America, and all of South America. All of South America, Central America, and Mexico, and all the little islands, everything south of the American border, of the Southern American border. And all of Africa. Every piece of Africa, the whole fucking thing. All of Africa. All of the black countries. So all of the brown countries that are from, south of the United States. All of Africa, all of the black countries. All of the other little islands all over the place. Haiti, Dominican Republic, all of them. And all of the Middle Eastern countries, all of the Muslim countries. That's why I don't like saying the word Asia, because Asia is yellow people and Muslims. And we gotta be honest, they're two separate things. It should be divided up. But anyways, it's not, so I do it. So 10%, that little sliver of 10% of your pie is everything south of the U.S. Mexico, Central America, South America. Brazil is down there in South America, the fourth largest country in the world. And it's still only part of that 10%. Little tiny sliver for brown people. Brown countries, should I say. And all of Africa and all of the Muslim countries. All of your Saudi Arabia and your Egypts and your Pakistan and all of it. So, your black and brown countries make up 10%. They make up like half of the population, but they only make up 10% of your money, Hollywood cashola. And yet, by the way cashola keeps opening its mouth, it's like black people are the best things since sliced bread. But it's like, well, wouldn't your customers be those? You just keep pandering to people that don't even have movie theaters to go see? No, we're pandering to the black people in white countries. Oh, okay. Whatever. So black and brown people make up 10% of the global box office. Yellow people make up 40% of the global box office. And white people, the smallest percentage of population, make up 50% of your global box office. That's how the theatrical market, that's the best, easiest. I broke down the numbers to extremes. I went to extremes. Like this is still only 28.9. But 30% is close enough. I proved it to you. Close to fucking enough. I'm just saying, if you want to simply think of the global pie, of the global box office, it's half of it is white, 40% of it is yellow, and 10% of it is black and brown. Of the white, 30% of that half that is white, 30% of it is U.S. and Canada, and 20% is the other white countries. Of that 40% chunk that is yellow, 25% of it is China, and 15% of it is the rest of the yellow countries. And then that 10% is all the black and brown countries. And by black and brown, I mean Middle Eastern, Africa, um, South America, Central America, and Mexico. But look at who Hollywood panders to. The people that don't even have, like, that aren't even going to see movies. That 10%. Crazy to me. And I wonder what this, 2018 to 2019 is going to look like. Again, I don't know what the international is going to look like. This went up. This went down. But when you added the two together, it overall went up. And so oh wow, the global box, is it really, or was this just account for inflation? Because you got to remember, every year there's inflation and prices go up. What about the increased population from 17 to 18? What like the more people in the world, shouldn't more people be going to see movies? And then you add in inflation. But no, they just don't care. They're just, oh, everything is going great over here, guys. Oh, but the coronavirus destroyed and in the history books, I'm sure it'll write, the coronavirus destroyed the movie industry. Even though we can clearly see that it didn't. I showed you it earlier. Right? We can clearly see that it didn't, because it has been declining for a very long time. It was good that China kind of, opened itself up to some capitalism. It brought in a lot. Hey, dear everyone, once you get some freedom under your belt, we know that the sky's the limit. I know. I want more freedom, and I've got more than you do. And I want you to have it too. Yellow, black, brown, I don't care. Don't fucking give all the money to these fucking, corrupt politicians for them to fucking be all evil and gluttonous. Doesn't it shock you that Putin lives in a castle? The leader of a communist country lives in a castle. Isn't that supposed to be wrong? Aren't you supposed to be like everybody's equal around here? I thought you were Mr. Equal. What about all the blackmailing and the bribery and all the rest? Give everybody a gun, let them defend themselves, and everybody enforces no force. Get these fucking evil, See, what we need to teach Muslims is to stop cousin fucking. And same thing with Africa. Stop fucking your family members. It's pretty simple. You will improve. Now, it's going to take generations, but you will improve things a lot if you just stop fucking making babies with family members. We know what that does to IQ. We know what that does to intelligence and everything else. It fucking kills it. Stop fucking it. But, you have to... The governments, I don't know, maybe they like us to... look at our governments. All these kids are paying shitloads of money to be indoctrinated into being fucking stupid. I don't know. Sometimes I'm a man and sometimes I'm a woman. Really? Are you? Oh. Where'd you learn that? I learned that in school, in California. Sometimes I'm a boy and sometimes I'm a girl. Oh, good for you. Yeah, I'm only in debt $100,000. Good for you. What kind of job prospects? I'm going to teach other people that gender is a social construct. And that you can be a boy or a girl. All you have to do is wish it into existence. Will it into existence, and then that's what you are. Oh, okay. It's so sad, right? So you can complain about Muslims fucking cousin fucking, but what's our excuse? If we're not cousin fucking, why are our our people so stupid. Yeah. But anyway, freedom is always the solution. Why? Because every other solution is immoral. And we already know that it's what works. We already know that it has to be that way. Freedom is it. If you're not a libertarian, you're wrong. But these freaking, and like the biggest pushers of big government, this lefty bullshit, is Hollywood. And it's going away. I wonder how this is going to affect politics in the long term. I wonder how, No Time to Die is moved. That was the big movie of both March and April. Remember last year in March and April? Well, let's just take a look. There's your Avengers. March. Tyler Perry did a little something, but you had the big hit of Captain Marvel. A couple little. Us did pretty good. Dumbo did all right, but not for because it was so expensive. It didn't do that great. Shazam, a little bit of everything there, but oh boy, Hellboy only did 21, 22. Not much. Not much. See, like it was Captain Marvel and then Avengers. Is the Captain Marvel movie gonna, instead of spending it all on Captain Marvel, is it gonna squish out to the other films? Well, I would have said yes if No Time to Die was still part of this equation. Now that's next month, but Onward is looking like a dumpster fire. Bloodshot, I can't believe a Vin Diesel comic book movie is going to do so little. Everything is like trending downward. The only thing to look forward to in March as far as the box office is A Quiet Place Part 2, it looks like. Maybe Mulan. But see, this is such a mistake, letting it continue to be in the slot. I can't believe that Bob Iger didn't pull it. No Time to Die has been moved. I don't know. I don't see it, folks. I see the end is nigh. And yes, they're going to blame Corona. It's kind of cool that they've got an excuse or something to blame it on. But international box office went down. That means attendance went down even faster. Everybody's just going watching it on their phones and at home. The movie theater is dead, and once the movie theater is dead, what does that mean? Some of these people actually go to the movie theater multiple times to see the same movie. Crazy. Can spend if you spend $20 each time, then they go see it 5 times. They spend $100. Crazy. So are people going to click a button on their internet or on their remote to watch to rent a movie, a new release movie? How much are they going to spend to watch the newest, I don't know, Harry Potter movie or whatever, the newest comic book movie, once there's no more movie theaters? Now, you're not gonna snap your fingers and they're all gonna go away. It's gonna be like Blockbuster Video, right? It just slowly, 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 start to close and start to sell and close and sell and sell and close, and that's it. You know, I mean, if you're not, but How much are people gonna? Is it gonna just go into the streaming service like a Netflix? It's just gonna be one day the new movie is gonna pop up, and Netflix is just gonna keep overspending. I don't know where they get their money from. Do they think that they're gonna win the online internet movie thing? Maybe they will. You know, a while ago, people were thinking Disney could really, you know, hurt Netflix. But since The Mandalorian ended, nobody's thinking that anymore. They're like, eh. And what is the streaming service? Like, why are, as kid and traditional television is going to go away too. Broadcast television, which, let's be honest, it's a stream of video after video after video after video after video after video, right? It's a piece of a longer video, and then a 30-second video commercial, and then another 30-second, and then another video, and then another commercial video, and then another one. And then it comes back to the program, which is another segment of a video. It's just video after video broken up by a bunch of videos. And those broken up by a bunch of videos, the commercials, pay for the content. Well, that's over. And can you imagine back in the beginning of television? You were lucky if you were watching a program. At the beginning of the program, the announcer of the program would hold up a box. So this program is brought to you by Lucky Duck laundry detergent. Wash your husband's socks with joy with Lucky Duck laundry soap. And then that was it. Then you watch the program for an hour. No more commercials. That was it. And that was the beginning of television. That one little tiny, thing paid for the whole thing. Now the next one is, people are... Oh, my cat wants out. You know? And now it's all commercials. And now, oh God. I can't bring myself to watch television. I can't. And there's just so much of it. Like, it really exploded. And I think it got too big. 1,000 channels? Yeah, sure, it's cool to think that you have 1,000 television channels to look at, but what does that even mean? There's just such an explosion of video. And because there was so much money in it. But then it just it was too much. How many actors and directors and people can you hire for all of those channels to keep content going? Some of these TV channels, well, they don't have any original content, but some only have like 2 or 3 television shows that are unique to that channel. The rest is all reruns and just copies of stuff from other channels. So why even have the channel? And then it's so fucking confusing. I had that once in my life. And I was like, well, what to watch? Oh, I don't feel like going to the guide and scrolling through everything, and by the time you figure out something to watch, the half hour is over, and it's like, oh fuck. All I did was look through the guide. I hated the experience. I literally would turn it on. I like game shows, or I did anyway. I think I still like game shows. I just don't watch them anymore because I can't stand TV. Um, but yeah, I would just turn on my 500 channel television and put it on the game show network and leave it there. I'm not joking. I watched one channel out of 500. I don't know how many I had. It was a lot. And I was like, why? What am I doing? Just to fucking watch old reruns of old games, game shows that I liked when I was a kid. The Match Game and Love Connection and all that stuff. I don't know, folks. And then, so, yeah, television is going to, and so the money from commercials is going to dry up. Like, are they going to have streaming services with and without commercials? They're going to have like a $9.99 with commercials and a $19.99 without commercials. Streaming services. You get a commercial every, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. Banner ads, like every other website. You know, like you can subscribe to porn websites for $5, and it's just a set of videos, or $10 or $20 or whatever. So literally, Hollywood is on par with like a porn website. You know, there's something about that, right? I think about these things. You know, I can sign up for this porn website for $19.99 a month. I can sign up for the Peacock NBC streaming service for $19.99 a month. That's a thing, right? I'm not trying to be funny. I don't mean that, you know, TV and movies is on par with porn, but it kind of is. And how do you draw people? How did the porn sites draw people in? I don't know. Ask them. But and once all of your stuff is behind, you know, um, behind a paywall, it's like all of the when I click through the internet, when I go to Google and search for something, and I end up at a website that doesn't want me there because I don't have a subscription, you know, like it really pisses me off. You know, I really wish Google had a way to turn off all of the paid websites because I went to the website, you asked me for money, and I said no. And then you just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again. What's your problem? I'm not interested. I'm not going to buy a subscription to the New York Times just so that I can read this article. I'll find the information elsewhere. Are you kidding me? It's the fucking internet. And it's kind of the same thing with unless these, see, like, and they killed all their franchises. The things that used to bring in all of the money, that's all over. So what is going to be the draw to your streaming service? See, Netflix was the one-stop shop for television over the internet. But then in America too, can't you just go on to like a website like ABC or something like that and just watch everything? Watch a bunch of stuff. Like how many fucking places for videos do you need? Isn't like, and do we, like, and see, that's a problem with your politics, shoving your politics in there. It's like, you do realize that we have alternatives out here, right? You keep spouting your nonsense, commie Hollywood bullshit. We can just, turn the channel. You have a lot of competition now. It's not like the old days. Okay? In the old days, when you had a monopoly, yet there was movie theaters and that was it. Well, you also had plays and theaters. But I mean, you had movie theaters. And then you had broadcast television. And then it just kept slowly moving in. Then the VCR, and then you could record it, and then the video store where you could rent it. And it just became so pervasive. And then the computer, and the internet, and now the cell phone. You can literally watch TV on your fucking cell phone. So it's not special, it's not interesting. Most kids would rather play a game or watch some kid do a twirly twirl on his skateboard than watch your newest episode of whatever, Law and Order, whatever it happens to be. They don't care about your stupid drama TV shows. I remember when music channels were about music videos, and that really got the kids pumped up. Now you turn on a music channel and it's fucking reality television. Stupid, too. It seems like everybody lost their way. It was just the entertainment industry has lost their way. And now I guess they're going to use the coronavirus as the excuse as to why they went tits up. The amount of money that Hollywood is going to lose this year is in the billions. Because you gotta, well, at least to my understanding, and I'm not going to put on a tinfoil hat. Let me make this clear. I am not, N-O-T, not saying what I'm about to say. Even if this is like a manufactured, contrived, fake news, the whole coronavirus is fake news. Kind of, how some people think that, including me, by the way, that 9/11 was an inside job. I guess it's possible. There's whatever. I'm not saying it. I don't believe it. But is the coronavirus Hollywood's inside job to blame their failure on? It would be stupid because it would be easily debunked. And I don't believe it, by the way. I don't believe it. Don't come at me with your this or that. I don't believe it. But by the way, so 2019, see, this number still has to be adjusted. This price went up, so this number is probably, I don't know which one is the real number. And then the other one is calculated based on just the average ticket price. I think it's probably tickets sold is golden, and then this is calculated based on this. So this still has to be adjusted. But this number gets released this month, the average ticket price. But, I mean, wow, scary. 007, the biggest movie of the spring. The big springtime movie is being moved to Christmas. That's big news. We'll see how, we'll see what that means. And like I said, that's a really, really busy release time, right? In November. Here it is, No Time to Die. The end of November. This is gonna bomb. I don't know about King Richard, and I don't know about this Disney movie. But the week before, Godzilla vs. Kong, the 2019 Godzilla movie kind of flopped. I don't know what this is. I don't know what, Stephen King has in store for there. And I don't know what this is. Stillwater. But I will say, and the week before, doesn't seem like much. Except for this Universal, maybe. I don't know. Stillwater. Matt Damon is in it. Man from Toronto. By the way, I lived in Toronto for like 10 years. It's just an hour away from me. Kevin Hart. Jason Statham. Kevin Hart. I'm gay. I'm a gay Canadian. I'm old gay Canadian. I give you more than all the permission in the world to tell as many gay jokes as you want. You heard it from me. The random nobody on YouTube, gay YouTuber. Tell as many gay jokes as you want. You're not going to hurt my feelings. And in fact, it probably is making the world a better place. For a lot of reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. But I tell black jokes. You tell gay jokes. I tell gay jokes. You tell black jokes. We all tell jokes. That's what we do. And we're not going to get offended. And we're not going to, we're not going to do it. Anyway, you can host my Oscars when they happen. Which is going to be never. But you're more than welcome to come and host my Oscars. Okay, Kevin Hart? Tell all the gay jokes you want. Don't let those fucking retards tell you what to do. And Jason Statham, the Meg movie, The Meg, oh my god. I mean, like, there's just so many bad shark movies. And you just added to the list. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, there's been, I'll tell you, after Jaws, they were so bad for so long. But believe it or not, if there's one type of movie that has kind of somewhat improved, that, like, there is something, like, there's hope. It's been shark movies. Believe it or not, for the longest time, up until, say, like, 2010, it was like, oh my god, shitty shark movie, shitty shark movie, shitty shark movie. It's just like nobody could live up to Jaws. But then it was like, oh my god, something is happening. Some of these shark movies don't totally suck shit. Some of them are actually pretty good. Not Jaws. They're not that good. But I mean, they don't completely suck. And I was really hoping everybody kept talking about The Meg. And, it was kind of a shitty shark movie. It wasn't, I don't know if it's bad. Say, I don't know, 5 out of 10 you get from me. But I just get so tired of people talking shit up. See, that's another thing too, right? People talking a movie up. Or people talking a movie down. My cat's going crazy. You want to see? You want to watch my cat go crazy? don't know if you can see. No. I don't think you're going to be able to see much there. Even if I try to cut out that. I can't see much. I don't know if you can. Anyways, there's my cat going crazy. You know how cats just go spastic? And he's kind of dark gray. Oh, that's crazy. As soon as I put the camera on him, he calms down. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to still be crazy. I could turn on the light, but I'm a cheap bastard. I don't like lights at night. There's enough ambient light in my house on at night that just a little tiny bit. If I really need to see something, I'll turn lights on. But I don't like. I've always been this way my entire life. I'm like, daytime is when I like it nice and bright. Nighttime, I like it dark. But sometimes I need a little bit of light to see, and that's fine. So I have, the one little light on and a night light in my entire house at night. That's 99% of the time. Oh, in the bathroom, I turn the light on when I go. But that's it. And then gets turned off. You know how much my hydro bill is? Now, I live in a house by myself, and it's a small house, okay? But it is a house, a detached home. There's space between me and my neighbors. It is a small house. It has, well, no, but that would be heat related. There is a basement and an attic, but they're both kind of crappy. So it is a very small house. It's just perfect for one person, to be honest. Maybe two, if you really, really liked each other. It could be a small family. Like, there is a second bedroom, but it's tiny. This would be a starter home for a small family, like with one kid. I guess with a lot of work, upstairs could be turned into something, or downstairs could be turned into something. But it's like, yeah, it's a single person, maybe a couple, or a couple with one kid. But anyway, it's just me. And I spend about $50, and that's about $35 American per month on hydro. It's nothing. I keep my bills super low. And I like it that way. Why just throw money down the toilet? But if you want to throw money down in the toilet, in my toilet, there's a link down below to the PayPal if you want to give me money. But yeah, so No Time to Die is down here. And by the way, this movie, Happiest Season, oh my god. I'll talk about it when it comes up, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about it now. But yeah, so I don't know what this King Richard movie is. Will Smith is in it. Who's this guy? Oh, I've seen him before. He was in The Walking Dead, yeah. And this guy. Oh, that guy. He always plays the bad guy. He was not the Wolverine. the nemesis to the Wolverine. Sabretooth, that's it. But, yeah, so actually, I guess, too bad for these guys. They've got competition now with 007. Will Smith and these two have some competition. King Richard. What the hell? Does that make any sense? It's a drama based on real life events. Are you gonna tell me that Will Smith is gonna play King Richard? Really? Come on. That's like a white guy playing Nelson Mandela, don't you think? Can't we, if you're gonna, see? Really? You don't have a problem with a white guy or a little old Chinese lady playing, I don't know, Malcolm X? Really? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Will Smith won't be King Richard and he'll be something else. I don't know. I don't know anything about that movie, but now it's going up against 007 and Disney, a Disney movie. So it's probably going to get kicked to the curb. But it is Christmas. But I mean, and this is going to be a bomb. This is a Christmas movie, and I'm not joking. A lesbian couple who both Mackenzie Davis and what's her name? Kristen Stewart and Mackenzie Davis. Kristen Stewart was in Charlie's Angels and Underwater. Charlie's Angels was the biggest bomb of the year, and Underwater was a huge bomb so far this year. And now she is in this movie, Happiest Season. Season, by the way, is Christmas. And Mackenzie Davis did Terminator Woke Fate last year, and this year she was in The Turning. Both huge bombs, box office bombs. And guess what? They're playing a lesbian couple. She was criticized for dressing like a boy in the movie Terminator Dark Fate. And Kristen Stewart, oh, I'm so bisexual, I'll have sex with everything. It's a very, of course you do, because you're in Hollywood and you're in Los Angeles. Of course you will have sex with everything. You know, by the way, if you just have sex with everything, it means you don't have any standards. And is that a good thing, to not have standards? Okay, whatever. But anyway, they're playing a lesbian couple that are, Kristen Stewart proposes marriage to Mackenzie Davis. This is Christmas, by the way. But at Mackenzie Davis's, I believe that I'm going to tell the story correct. She proposes marriage to her lesbian lover at her lesbian lover's parents' home for Christmas. So they both go to one of their parents' home for Christmas, and the one proposes to the other. But the problem is that Mackenzie Davis still hasn't, even though she's she's 35 in real life. I don't know how old these girls are. But anyway, she hasn't come out to her conservative parents. She hasn't come out of the closet to her conservative parents. So, trust me, this movie is going to be lesbians shitting on conservatives during Christmas. This is this year's anti-Christmas movie. This is the I hate straight people, I hate conservatives, and I hate Christmas film. Brought to you by Hollywood, because of course they're bringing it to you. Of course. And like I said, they're both box office poison, which is good. Let these friggin' people blow their money, flush it down the toilet. Sony and TriStar. Production companies. Temple Hill Entertainment. Have they done anything good? Oh my goodness. Well, they did. Well, this one didn't do too bad. That one was Maze Runner. Oh, they've been around. Oh, Twilight. Oh, the Twilight people. Really? Oh my goodness. The Twilight people. And Maze Runner. So, Twilight. But they haven't done anything since. That's hilarious. Oh, wait. This, no, Twilight. Oh, this, no, Twilight. So Twilight kickstarted them. I don't know whose money that was. Oh, this one did okay. Maze Runner did good, really good. Second Maze Runner didn't do as good. Power Rangers was a bomb. Maze Runner keeps going down, so I think they stopped it. I really like that first. I love these just dropped into the ba, dropped into a room, and then the movie starts. And this person or these people have to figure out the fucking puzzle. I love that. Love that. Now, normally I like it in horror, but let's be honest, this Maze Runner, at least the first one, was what I liked. Just dropped into the spot and now figure out the puzzle. There was death. It wasn't a horror movie, but at least there was death. I normally like that concept in horror. It's my favorite type of movie of all time. If you give me that movie, it can be as shitty as shit, and I'm gonna love it. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Just drop them into the fucking thing, and then they have to figure out what the fuck is going on. It's a great big puzzle. One big ass long puzzle. The lowest budget crappity crap movie of that kind. I fucking love them. I don't care. Bad acting, kind of a stupid concept. Don't care. Escape room type movies. Fucking love them. They are like video games, by the way. I have no problem. I don't like playing video games, and don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't like playing video games. I don't like playing video games at all. I don't play them, and I don't want to. But I have played them, and you oftentimes, well, at least in the old days, it's probably the same way. I don't know. You get to a spot in the game, and you have to figure out a fucking puzzle. And if you don't do it right, you die. Then you have to start again. And then it's like a puzzle. Just figure out the puzzle and then move on. I love it. Give me that movie. Give me all those movies. I fucking love them. I search high and low for those types of movies. I've seen them all. If there's any I haven't seen, it's only because I don't know that they exist. And I did my research. Fucking love those things. Like the Maze Runner. Add horror to that. Oh my god, love it. You know? Turn that into a horror movie, love it. Now, once they got out of that Mazy Maze thing, I was like, I didn't care for the sequels. Because I wasn't really into it for the whatever. I just care about you wake up and then boom. You better figure this out before you die. Love it. Love it. But anyway, so let's continue on, yeah. Well, so Maze Runner did it. So, really, these guys, okay, Love Simon did okay. So they got some, some big hits like your Twilight things, and some and Maze Runner, but they have a bunch of hit misses. And it looks like they've been doing a lot of missing. And now they're doing Happiest Season. Bring back the girl that made you so much money in the past. Oh my god, it's just so awful. Really? You're gonna a coming out lesbian story over Christmas just so that you can shit on straight people, shit on conservatives, and shit on Christmas? Really? Is it gonna have a happy ending? Are the conservatives gonna come around to their lesbian daughter and her future wife? Are they gonna all, hug and have butt sex at the end of it? Or what? What's gonna go on? But anyway, you got kicked to the curb now because 007 is moving in. And he is gonna be emasculated by the new 007, the stunning and brave sidekick of Captain Marvel. So there you go. But yeah, so here you go. International markets went down between 17 and 18, but domestic went up. Now, it's just a fluke, this uptick. It really is. But, I mean, Disney just kept hitting home runs last year. So, when everybody else is hitting foul balls, right? And only one company is left hitting home runs, that's significant, right? That's a significant development. Only one movie company left is drawing in the eyeballs. Now, I'll be honest, like, if we're talking about internet, I don't know. Like, a lot of this international market is international films. Like, it's not just all Hollywood films. This isn't all Hollywood films. This is all sorts of stuff. Some of this is Hollywood films, but a lot of it is also just local films. Norway does make movies of their own, and they show Norwegian movies in their own movie theaters, and it's quite common. Even British films, a lot of British films are released in Britain, and they don't make it to the United States. Lots of them. And that's English, right? But your Chinese films, lots of Chinese films, make tons of money. Let's just take a look. Like in your worldwide last year, right? Worldwide. Okay. Hollywood. Oh, wait, no, we're going to go to. This year got really lucky for the first January and February with Bad Boys. Hollywood, 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 Holly. Okay, so the top 11 movies last year, worldwide movies, were all Hollywood. But then you get to China, came in at number 12. And nearly all of this is, well, it's all yellow money. And it's mostly Chinese money. But when, that's the 12th biggest, the 13th biggest Chinese, again. And they're all going to be Chinese, by the way. A Japanese-only movie is only going to make a little bit of money in Japan. Maybe a little, it'll squish out a little bit into other places, but not much. And then Hollywood, okay, and then we have another Chinese movie. So, well, let's just take a look at that top. Take a look at the top one, right? So it only made $4 million in US, right? But it made, 725 total. So in China, it made 719, nearly all of it. Nearly 100%. Does it even, these numbers are so small they don't even register. Can't even get to them. Oh, wait, here we go. Made almost nothing. It made 1,200,000 and 50,000. New Zealand and the UK. But it was all China bucks. I'm surprised that it wouldn't have more, yellow appeal. You know what I mean? Like Korea or I don't know how. Well, maybe we'll get to another one. The second biggest one. Let's just oh shoot. Yeah, all China again. I wonder if that's just going to be, these movies are just all China. China makes its own movies. And this is, even though this is a worldwide market and it's on the list, right? It's all China. All China. All China. And now China is closed for business. So, you can't deny China is, like I said, Canada is 30% of the whole market. China is 25%. The rest of the white countries are another 20%. The rest of the yellow people are another 15%. And then 10% are brown and black countries. The only time you really make money out of black people is when they live in white countries. America is not a white country. Stop being so racist. It was founded by Britain, which was a white country. Same thing with Canada. I don't like it when Canadians and Americans separate themselves too much. We're really not any different. We even come from the same fucking people. Yes, we've had a little bit of different history, but our histories are like hundreds of years old, a couple hundred years old. Look at fucking Europe and Asia, thousands of years old. Like, I mean, we're pretty fucking. We have the same businesses. We have mostly the same philosophies. You have an orange man, and we have a black man. You have an orange president, and we have a black president. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Your president is orange, and our prime minister is black. I just thought of that. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. But we are, like, all of our businesses are American. Like, I mean, our cities look like American cities except for smaller. I would say that we're doing better than you. We don't have fucking whole sections of fucking towns that look like third world shitholes. Right? And politicians and Hollywood, they can't complain. Oh, I didn't know that, 10% of America was a fucking third world shithole. You see it every time you drive into the airport and you're driving to the hotel. I mean, how can you miss it? Shanty towns, all across America. But I guess you also have more rich people. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. The fact that, um, okay, so last year it was Captain Marvel at the beginning of March, and um, Avengers Endgame at the end of April. Those were the two big movies to kick off the year. And this year, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's a couple of movies that are going to flop from Disney and here and there. There's nothing, right? Oops. Onward is going to, well, see. Onward is going to flop. I don't know. I wonder how much that money that costs to make. But I mean, what did they do? A lesbian? A super mega out lesbian? And they're not going to tell us. Yeah, they're not going to tell us, at least not yet. And you know, a character, a half a father, at the bottom half of a father, where you're literally staring at his crotch every time he's in the movie. It's like a crotch, staring at the dick, dad's dick, for the entire movie. Does anybody think that that was a good idea? What the fuck is wrong with people? Didn't anybody think that through? Goodbye, Bob Iger. And the next, okay, so, and then it's, okay, The Quiet Place, between the two. So you got Onward, which is going to bomb. A Quiet Place, which will do good for a horror movie. Mulan, which is going to bomb. I'm surprised they, like I said, he probably, the board of directors of Disney probably got wind of Onward and Mulan, and were like, the captain running our ship is fucking stupid. And then they probably saw the balance sheets of how Fox has been doing, just how the company's been doing in general. They made all of those biggity big movies last year, and what did they got to show for it? I don't know. I know their stock has been hurting. But I mean, like, seriously, Onward? That's such a bad idea. No, A Quiet Place Part 2, they go, hey, if it's good, if they make money, they get a fucking sequel no matter what. I don't know. Was that movie that good to love on a sequel? Actually, we'll just do here. I know the original movie did really well. Oh, and it's by itself. All by itself at the third week of March. Only 17 million they put into it, and they're expecting to get 168 out just domestically. So they're expecting a little bit less than A Quiet Place, right? Than the original. So 72 and 168. No, they're expecting more. More opening weekend, but less overall? That's weird. Hmm. So they expect really short legs for A Quiet Place Part 2. A big initial splash, but then it's going to die right off. Is it because of the following Mulan? Again, I think Mulan. I think people are boycotting Onward. Families are boycotting Onward, and I think everybody's boycotting Mulan for a variety of reasons. The lefties don't like it, and the righties don't like it for some weird reasons I don't quite understand. I'll be honest, I don't quite understand. But I mean, like I said, the so now, without No Time to Die, now the biggest movie of March and April is going to be frickin' um, A Quiet Place. My goodness, all of March and all of April is relying on A Quiet Place. That's crazy. I'm telling you, I the only thing that threw me off about was this No Time the 007 movie, and I'm still not convinced that it's going to make a lot of money. If they emasculate um, James Bond in this movie, if he gets put in his place by a sassy black woman, then that's it. Now James Bond is a homo, right? Limp-wristed soy boy. That's not what James Bond is. James Bond. Now, I don't. Um, hmm. I don't love it, but I'm gay, right? But I can appreciate straight sensibilities. And yes, we're different. Okay? Um, and there is generalizations about those. Anyway, James Bond is like a male fantasy. It is it's like he is beautiful, he's got all the money, he's got all the power, he's got all the toys, he's jet setting around everywhere, he gets all the girls, he always wins, he's saving the world, that is part of a man's, protect and provide. He can call up anybody and get anything, right? Um, yeah, saving the world. He gets the girl. He has a discriminating taste, and his life is all just one big, massive adventure. Exploration, new places, new times, crazy, and then you add in the other stuff like the action. But he gets the beautiful. And this one, like I said, I bet you he's going to be put in his place. He's going to be all soyed up. Girl, are you looking at me like I'm interested in you? No, sorry. He's going to be put in. I can tell it. I can almost guarantee it. Unless they're changing the movie up in some way. But I'm telling you, this weekend, in 2 days from now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when that weekend rolls in, you're going to see, boom, 2020 drops way down below 2019. And it's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen. And it's going to be so incredibly obvious. No Time to Die was going to save the spring. Disney has got Mulan and Onward, and both are not going to do it. All you got is A Quiet Place. Now, from Paramount. And it better hit. If it gets some bad reviews and people don't like it, It Chapter 2 kind of tanked. And I don't know, Halloween Kills this year. After, everybody looked 2018, Halloween 2018 was the best thing since sliced bread. But after, 6 months or a year and everybody calmed down, they were like, yeah, it wasn't really all that good. So are they really going to be, you know, ready and raring for the sequel? I don't know. See, that's the overhyped thing, right? Everybody's all hyped up, hyped up, hyped up, hyped up, and then, but if you remove the hype, there's very little left, right? Oh, it was the best movie ever. It's better than the original. 6 months later, it was okay. But that it was the best movie ever. Got all the other people to go in and see it too. And then it does its rounds. You know, does all of its rounds, and then everybody gets their chance to see it. And then they were like, eh. But are you going to be able to pull out the hype train again? And see, that's the thing too with all of these movies. It's just like hype train after hype train after hype train after hype train. Isn't there a limit on how much you can hype up movies? Isn't there like a maximum? I think there is, but what do I know? Um, so this slow decline, right? The slow decline of Hollywood. And again, like I said, the international theatrical market went down from 17 to 18, and I just showed it to you. And that was in dollars. In ticket sales, it probably went down even further. And then you add in China being closed. Now, that's massive. And you're already starting to see it. No Time to Die, 007. Postpones, 7 months from April to November. April to November. And that's pushing, out of cream of the crop times. This is springtime, folks. This is supposed to be people have recovered from Christmas and they're back in the swing. March, April, May. Spring is sprung. It's time to freaking go see movies. The kids are coming out of school. Weather's getting nice. People are walking around. And they just keep pulling they're going to pull their big ticket items. Big ticket movie catchers. Now, are people going to see something else instead? When I wanted to go see a movie, I went to go see a movie. When we got to the theater, I would look at the posters, or we would look at the posters, and then decide which one to go see. Sometimes one of our friends or one in the group would have an idea, right? They would have an idea of what they wanted to see, but not very often, because we didn't watch television. I didn't have a TV. I just never watched TV. 100% of my television, well, I dated somebody with a TV, so I watched a little bit there, but I didn't have a TV and didn't want one. My parents gave me one for Christmas. I said, "Oh shit, I don't." It's not that I can't afford a TV; it's that I don't want one. I would come home after work, pour myself a drink, and go sit outside. And I'd sit there until the boyfriend came over, and we, do those things. And then often he would go home, and I would take a nap. And then I'd wake up at like 9 p.m. or so, and then decide what we're doing that night. Sometimes it was low key. Sometimes we'd go to a bar. Sometimes it was a movie or just going over to somebody's house for drinks or something. Hanging out. Listen to some music and sit by candlelight and talk the evening away. And go to bed late, but that nap, fixed it all. And then wake up, go to work, and then do the whole thing over again. I would do all my cleaning on Tuesday nights, laundry and cleaning, just everything, once a week. Tuesday nights. Oftentimes actually, I shouldn't say sometimes. Oftentimes I would skip laundry because I lived in an apartment building, so it was kind of a chore. So my laundry really got out of control, but I was making good money, so I'd just go out and buy more clothes. But when I needed to do laundry, oh my God, I would take up the entire laundry room, every washer and every dryer. But, and it was a hell of a chore, a hell of a fucking chore. But it got done, and it was like, technically, if you think about it, it was one set of washing and one set of drying. But I mean, it was the entire. Sometimes there was more than one. But I'm just saying, yeah. See, that was kind of a cool thing. You could wait for a long time to do laundry because you had an entire laundry room. As long as you picked a time that not too many people were doing laundry, then you were good to go. Right? Anyway. So yeah, there is your ticket sales, the ticket sale line, right? And look at that drop off. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, don't take it too seriously. The people that are going to hurt the most are the people in the industry. And it's just like there's still going to be movies and TV show type things. They're just going to be in streaming services behind paywalls. And if you want them, then you can go get them. Now, the amount of money in that industry is going to go way down. And I would say global movie theaters are going to start to close. Now, what I can only hope, and which I hope with everything that I do, is that we start to bring people out of poverty. But you're not going to do that with the Hollywood preaching communism all over the place. That's not the solution. It's like they're literally preaching the opposite message to themselves. But that's what communism is. It's like, oh yeah, socialism is going to be great. Free healthcare, free school. Oh wait, there's no food? Oh dear. Like, really? Really? You've got the entire internet. You got libraries everywhere. You can learn anything. And you're still going to be stupid and vote for socialism and communism? Well, of course you're going to. It's like saying, yeah, I think we should try jumping out of a plane without parachutes. And I'm sitting here going, that's a really dumb idea. Yeah, but we're going to do it anyway. Well, okay. That's really dumb, and I really don't think you should do it. And you shouldn't really be telling other people to do it, and you need to shut up and go read a book about gravity. But, what can you do? Now, and it's the same thing with everything else. We can bring everybody. Could you imagine? Like, I don't think you quite understand the power that humanity would have if it wasn't for these leaders keeping us down. Think of all of the time, money, and energy we spend on politics. All of that wasted human potential, all of that money that could be spent elsewhere, instead of bickering back and forth about, whether or not women can take their shirts off on the sidewalk or not, we wouldn't be doing that. We would be doing something else. See, there's an opportunity cost to things too. That is when you choose to do thing A, bicker about politics, you're not doing thing B, right? You're not doing thing B or C or D or E or F or any of the other letters, all of them, right? And that's the opportunity cost. You should have been because you're also losing out on what you could have been doing. You missed out on that opportunity to fucking cure cancer or, fly to the moon. We're just stuck in slavery. It's still slavery. It's just a nicer, a slightly modified, nicer version of it. But it's slavery. Try not paying your taxes and then find out how much of a slave you are. Go ahead. Try it. Try, keeping all of the stuff that you earn to yourself. Try just going to the store, you got sales tax. Go to the store and buy a chocolate bar for $1, but, the 5% tax, they want another nickel, and just walk out of the store and say, no, I'm not going to pay the tax. And then see what happens. Seriously. Make no mistake, you are a slave. What is the definition of a slave? A slave is somebody who somebody else owns their labor, right? You could say you own the person, but that doesn't, you're not going to just own the person. 500 years ago, you didn't buy a slave and own the person. I guess you did, but I mean, that's a meaningless statement. Right? What is it to own a person? Well, you own their labor. You can tell them what they can and cannot do. They work, and you get all of the rewards. Now, I guess you had to give some back in the form of food and some shelter and whatever, right? You had to keep them alive and healthy enough to continue working. But it was their labor that you owned, and that's exactly what this is. You go to work and then give half of it to the government. Now, instead of you giving it all to the government and then giving it back to you, like a communism or socialism, they just tax you. They figured out the maximum that they can tax you and still get the maximum amount out. Trust me, they take every dime out of you that they possibly can. Because if they start taking more, then people move away and start moving their money around. That's why they want a one world government. So there's no place to move your money to. But yeah, just make no mistake, it's all slavery. They own your labor. When you go out and make $100, you got to pay 50 of that to the government, and it's just a slightly modified version of slavery. This is one of the reasons why me as a libertarian, when people, black people or the people trying to rile up black people go on and on and on about slavery, I'm like, we're all still slaves. All of us. Every single last one of us is a slave right now. Try not paying your property tax and see what happens. Try not working for the government. Try telling the government that you own yourself and your labor is your own and you're not going to give the government any of it. And then you'll find out how much of a slave you actually are. You're a huge motherfucking slave. We all are. It's just a modified one. And you can say that we are treated nicer, and that's true. It is absolutely true. And there is some freedom in there. But the reason that they granted it to us is because we're more productive this way. And honestly, that's the answer. Now, there's still people that want the communism and the socialism and a whip, but, like it's counterproductive. And being a slave isn't all that bad. Like the current day modern slavery, like me right here, right now, giving half of my money to the government for universal health care and schools and roads and all the rest of the shit that they don't really do. Right? Paying for the welfare people, paying for this and paying for that. I don't know what to say, folks. Like I said, try not paying your taxes and see what happens. You'll find out how much of your labor that they own. And if you don't give it to them, well, they can't let somebody just not give them their money, right? And then they start throwing around the excuses like the social contract and all the bullshit. They can't let one person not pay. Because if word gets out that one person didn't pay and they got away with it, then guess what? Nobody else is going to pay either. And then guess what? Then their power disappears. I'm telling you, it's just a nicer form of slavery. So like I said, when I hear a slightly modified, nicer form of slavery, but it's still slavery. They own my labor, and trust me, they are making sure that you pay every extra penny that they can squeeze out of you. Because if they were to squeeze any more, then people start moving. And that's the only reason they don't. Is because at the end, the paycheck at the end of it, if they increase taxes, the paycheck at the end of it actually gets smaller. Believe it or not, it gets smaller. They have leveled out the taxes so that they receive the maximum amount. Maximum. If it goes, lower, then they don't make any more money or they make less. If it goes higher, then they make less. Because like I said, people move away or start to find tax shelters. And it becomes worth it to hire a tax specialist to come in and find all the loopholes for you. And that's just the way it is. And just like in the 200 years ago slavery, your labor went to them. It's just it all went to them. And for them to get productivity out of you, they either had to get lucky or they had to stand around with a whip all day, making sure that, their slaves were producing fast enough or enough. Sometimes they would get one slave to make sure that the other slaves were performing, whatever, different tactics. I'm sure they were talking amongst each other. And like everybody says, that it was not the best way of doing it. It wasn't productive. It was better to just hire somebody doing the capitalist slavery thing. By the way, capitalism isn't the problem. We need more of it, not less. Capitalism is just two people voluntarily trading goods and services. The government keeps stepping in and creating barriers to that. That's what we don't want. So they keep chipping away at capitalism. We need to build capitalism up more. And all of your arguments have already been debunked. Well, somebody's just going to come over and buy everything. And then there's just going to be one person. It's already been talked about extensively all over the internet. Go to Mises.org and type in your question, and you will get an answer. All of your silly little questions about, oh, libertarianism is just unrealistic. Who's going to build the roads? All of these questions have already been answered thoroughly, multiple times, all over the place. You're just not interested in learning or educating yourself. And as much as I am interested in spreading the ideas of freedom and liberty, I can't go over every single thing every single time I bring it up. You have to take some responsibility for your own education. And now would be a good time. But, so, without television and without movie theaters, there's going to be a huge contraction. And really, it's just going to be, well, just think of all the millions and millions and millions of dollars people are making to be in a movie. That's just going to go away. They're still going to make, instead of 20 million, Robert Downey Jr. is going to make 2. It's not like they're going to be hard up. It's just everybody's going to, take a 0 off of their salaries. All the top people. All the bottom people are making as little as Hollywood can possibly pay them. They're already at the minimum there. But just, without, like I said, it's YouTube all the way now, buddy. Video games, YouTube. If you got something super mega special over there, then you'll maybe be able to get your streaming service going. But people like the YouTube. And they like movies, but you just keep fucking them up. Like I said, I've said this a dozen times. Of all of these movies that came out, of all those movies that made all the money last year, right? Avengers Endgame. It hit you in this nostalgia field, but it was really a dumb movie. I still don't understand the time travel. It's kind of dumb. It's a fucking dumb movie. Oh, it was really okay. It was fun, and the special effects were great, and the crowd at the movie theater was great, and you got to remember all of the previous movies, but it was still dumb. Again, I still don't understand the movie. And pretty much everybody, after they fucking calmed down, they were like, yeah, Infinity War was better. Lion King. It's definitely a step down from the other Lion King. Rise of Skywalker. I'm so sick of talking about Star Wars. Shut up. Frozen 2. Not as good as the first one. Toy Story 4. The worst in the set. Captain Marvel. An overhyped bleh. Mediocre. Spider-Man Far From Home. I haven't even seen it. I saw The Homecoming and I was like, I'm just so done. I just don't care about fucking comic books. If it was once every couple of years a big comic book movie came out, then I'd be okay. But they're just fucking... It's like Hollywood is out of ideas, so they just have to keep recycling and recycling and recycling. Aladdin. I haven't seen the original, but everybody said that the original is better. Joker. Okay, this is something a little different, but is it all that different? Joker we've seen numerous times by numerous people and numerous things. And, the sort of story, they say is kind of a copy. See, King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. Jumanji. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not gonna watch these. I haven't seen the other one either. It's not that I have anything against it. It's just I don't want to see a Jumanji movie without Robin Williams in it. Just I don't know. Maybe I will really like it. Usually when people put good movies in front of me, they sort of force me to watch it, then I'm good to go. But I'm just not interested. It Chapter 2, not as good as the first one. So, like, you see all of these movies that made a bunch of money, it's all going downhill. All of them. There's nothing magical here. Everything here is inferior to what came before it. Objectively, and everybody agrees. This Disney, now, particular, I don't care about the particular, but Disney Star Wars is worse than the prequels, which is worse than the original trilogy. Everything is going downhill. I think Star Wars is one of the best examples. The super mega awesomeness called Hollywood began with Star Wars, and guess what? It ended with Star Wars. Bookends. Star Wars is the bookends of the super mega massiveness called Hollywood. It was build, 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 and then bam, Star Wars started it off. Exploded, and everybody's head exploded. And then, psh, and then they tried, and what is it, 20 years? Try it again. Oh, that wasn't very good. And then another 20 years, try it again. Oh, shit, okay, this is over. Okay, we're done. Seriously. Star Wars was the top. Now you're going to talk to me about Titanic or Avatar or something. No, I'm gonna keep bringing up Star Wars. Anyway, okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. 007 leaving April. I think it was in April. The new James Bond, the 25th James Bond movie, leaving April. Yeah, April. Where is it? Anyway, maybe they took it away already. There you go. No Time to Die. April 10th, all the way down to November, is a huge hit on the spring. So there's nothing left in the spring. This spring is going to be a motherfucking dud. It is going to bomb. And the separation between 2019 and 2020 is going to be so big, it's going to make your mind melt. And it's going to be front page everywhere. You know, Hollywood tracking to lose billions this year. You know, that type of headline. Movie theaters start to close. Theater stocks start to plummet. All of these different types of stories. Can Christmas 2020 save the year? We don't think so. Without Avengers Endgame and without Lion King, 2020 at the theater is a dud or is a bomb. What movie bombed in 2020? Question, what movies bombed in 2020? Answer, all of them. AMC movie theaters, or whatever the name of the companies are, closes 24 theaters. This other company files for bankruptcy protection. It's all coming, folks. Cable subscription services down 10% in 2020. People canceling cable in droves. DVD sales to an all-time low. All of this stuff is coming. And nobody told Hollywood during the 2020 Oscars. So they all just like come out there and say all of their bullshit, turning even more people away from their industry. Oscar viewers dropped 20%. 20%. They don't care. They made their money. These top people, they made their bits, and now they're fucking burning the fucking industry to the ground. So nobody else can have it. It's sad. It's really sad. But and like I said, it's not all just the people in the industry. A lot of the biggest reasons for Hollywood's failure is not the people in Hollywood at all. It's computers, the internet, and cell phones, video games, game consoles, you know? Just technology. The kids would rather play a game than watch your movie. The internet has made everything too accessible. Cell phones, you're literally carrying a movie theater around in your pocket. It takes this specialness out of watching a movie. There's too much technology. And television, this whole concept of just watching what they put on and filled with commercials, that's over. You can turn on YouTube and keep pressing skip the ads. Or if you've seen over here in mine, I have ad blockers. But don't tell anybody. Yeah, I can't stand advertisements. Can't stand them. If it was a little bit, then I'll do it. I'll pay for my, but it has to be a little bit. What I've said to television, or said about television, is what they should do. One of the channels, or maybe all four of the major channels, should have gotten together and said, okay, we all got to do this. We all got to agree to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply the cost of advertising by 10. So if we're going to charge the company $1 million, we're now going to charge them $10 million. But we're going to reduce the number of ads by 10 as well. So if we showed 20 ads in the hour, we're only going to show 2. 2 ads, but it's going to cost you 10 times as much. But it would have to be consistent across everything. And maybe they even change up the way they do advertisements. And you could get creative, you know, Hollywood, but you didn't bother. You could have banner ads at the bottom. Instead of maybe breaking up the TV show, just a constant, like, picture-in-picture advertisement constantly down there. Maybe no sound, but you literally just have or banners ads, like the internet, but no commercials, no commercial breaks. Maybe you have figured out some way, just get creative, but you didn't do that. There's lots of ways to get extraordinarily creative here. But you didn't bother. You're just like, this is what we do and this is how we do it. And that's it. That's all there is. Well, now you're paying the price. Anyway, okay, I'm going to cut it off there. And thanks for joining me. Give me all of your money. Now, there's a link to my PayPal account down below. And yeah, thank you for all of your money. Every single last dime. And by the way, after you give me all of your money, if you need some of it back, you can call me. I might give some of it back. You give me yours and I might give you mine. We'll talk. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye now.